Hello and welcome to Access Studio. I'm Nancy Gesimondo and I'm very pleased to present an exhibition I curated entitled Strange Birds. This exhibit is hosted by the Flushing Council on Culture and Arts at Flushing Town Hall, a landmark building built in 1862. This beautiful historic building is on the traditional land of the Matincock people. The building, now owned by the City of New York, has been transformed into a thriving multidisciplinary art center run by the Flushing Council on Culture and Arts, a Smithsonian affiliate. Please visit their website, flushingtownhall.org, to learn more about their programming and services for artists. Strange Birds features artwork by 8 contemporary artists working in the genre of magical realism. Using both classical and modern techniques, the images rendered in this work depict surreal narratives derived from literature and embellished by the artist's imagination. Birds and other animals appear as fantastical creatures, acting as spectators and guides in a peculiar world where the rules of reality are upturned.
I'm Fulvia Zambon, a Brooklyn painter from Turin and Milan, Italy. My paintings have a story, represented with shapes, color, and recognizable subjects, a contemporary realism. I work with life model and the portrait. In this painting, Muffy lost her home. The light hitting the cat's eye remind me of the fact always present in my mind. I started this painting with viridian and oxy red, and adding otter in the process. I simplified the tree. I added a few small green people. The main focus is the cat, Muffy. The building in the right background accentuated the loneliness. When I paint, I'm concerned about the composition and other technical aspects. And I'm surprised when my mood shows up in the painting. I saw a baby in a carriage, wearing a turban, with a charming smile. A perfect model in the painting with a cat story, my encounter with Momoi. Baby carriages were the subject in a dozen of my paintings from 2003 to 2008. A mean of transportation and protection to set in the world where the imagination detaches the harsh reality. The image is the moment she meets the cat Momoi, peering from a tree. The setting is in the fall, with falling leaves, a yellow and brown tone. 3 people in green color are doing some action in the background, talking and collecting leaves. As always, the important is to solve the composition in the painting surface.
Most of my paintings are figurative, and I draw a lot of inspiration from magical realism. For example, in The Journey, it's a painting which is, it shows a couple, which I perceive as a couple, but they are placed very far from each other. There is an older woman and an older man. They are positioned in opposed sides from the panel. And there is like this jungle-like landscape. So there is these people, they are all dressed up, but they are sort of in the middle of the jungle. And there are like things that probably, in the real world wouldn't be there, like these chandeliers that are just levitating in the middle of the darkness, and some like floating flower leaf forms. So it's, it is called The Journey because it does speak to me about relationships. And when I painted this couple, I decided to separate them because even though they do look like a couple to me, they are still individuals. So it speaks about being together, but also being individuals. In the painting Dreamland, I placed these women going around this merry-round or this carousel coming from mountains that are actually mountains from my native city in Medellin. So what I wanted to do with this work was to place the best of 2 worlds together. I love the landscape from my native city, but I also love being in America. I love everything that America has brought into my life. So I wanted to make a painting as such as sort of as an allegory to that feeling of being part of both worlds. In the painting, Cerberus needs love too. Cerberus is the three-headed dog that guards the doors of Hades, or the dogs of hell in Greek mythology. And when I made this painting, I thought of all those misfits that actually they do need love too. So it's a little bit of dark humor, but I was actually thinking of that. There is this woman that is extending and kind of offering a little teddy bear to the three-headed dog that guards the doors of hell. So there's a little bit of humor, but a lot of compassion in this painting, because I truly believe that everybody can use some love, no matter how tough or how bad you are perceived. We all need a hug sometimes. For the painting, All Kinds of Beauty, the story came afterwards. After I made the painting, I started thinking, why did I decide to make this black woman and, ornate the painting with these beautiful flowers and then this tiger-like pattern? And it came to my mind something I heard from a friend. She is from the Caribbean, and she told me having an afro hair is not seen as a sign of something beautiful. Then it hit me, like maybe I was making this painting as a reaction to that story, because I truly believe that beauty comes in so many packages and sizes. It's so subjective. So I wanted to honor the beauty in the afro hair.
I'm Sage Cotignola, an artist, illustrator, and muralist based in Brooklyn, New York. 3 of my paintings on view in Strange Birds are part of an ongoing series on cryptids, or creatures that are mentioned in folklore and modern myth, with evidence of their existence passed down only anecdotally. The paintings explore the characterization of these singular creatures and what their stories reveal about the storytellers. Screen Memory centers around the concept of alien abduction or lost time due to extraterrestrial activity. There's a community of people that believe that images of owls have been placed in their memories in place of alien beings. My painting alludes to one of these encounters and imagines a disorientation in time and space. Somewhere in the New Jersey Pine Barrens depicts the Jersey Devil and the folklore surrounding the creature. There's a lot of symbolic imagery scattered throughout the composition that hints at the many layers of the story that I discovered when looking it up. The Mothman's Gift is a depiction of the Mothman cryptid and the inherent loneliness of living between two worlds. The dichotomies being explored are man-made alongside organic, tame versus wild, hidden and in plain sight. There's another painting that shares some similar themes to this one, and that's The Vigil. It takes inspiration from literature, and in particular, the unbearable lightness of being, as well as personal experience, to portray humankind's peculiar connection to non-human animals, the crossover between our interior lives, and the dichotomies between natural and man-made environments. Hans the Hedgehog is an earlier piece based on a folk tale of the same name. The painting centers around the theme of artistic expression as a means of finding a place to thrive, grow, and contribute to your community, despite personal trauma, and celebrating unique aspects of the individual.
I'm Dianne Martin, and I'd like to talk about my painting Lazarus. Lazarus is a watercolor painting in which I used imagery from many sources. There's a visual quotation from a painting by Sebastiano del Piombo, The Raising of Lazarus, from about 1516. I was really attracted to one of the surrounding figures, Martha, a disciple of Jesus, because of her pure white headscarf and the wonderful gesture of her hand. If you recall the biblical story of Lazarus, Jesus raised him from the grave back to life. The flowers and plants come from my garden here in Long Island City and Southold on Long Island. The source for that watchful bird is a photograph I used many times, taken during a visit to the nature lab at the Rhode Island School of Design. In this image, the bird does stand in for the biblical Lazarus, and in so doing serves as some kind of a sign of hope. This small watercolor painting could not be more different from Lazarus. The subject of the painting is a small dead bird painted from life in the nature lab of the Rhode Island School of Design. This little bird was in a drawer along with many others marked only badly damaged birds, with no other designation. My object here was simply to record and to give respect and attention. Life taken away and life damaged is still life after all.
My name is Adrian Di Metriou, and I feel very honored to be in this show, The Strange Birds, curated by Nancy Gesimondo at the Flushing Town Hall. In this surreal show, I have 3 pieces. They are all in bonded bronze. One of them is called Carlos Castaneda and Gennaro's Hat. The subject is inspired from a scene from an anthropologist's writing, describing events in Mexico with local shamans, and this gave me the opportunity to work on my composition. I'm a visual artist, and my main preoccupation is the composition, the visual aspects, the aesthetics, to draw freehand and work on the composition, creating a harmonious design. My second one is called Ishtar, and is my modern rendition of the ancient image of the Mesopotamian goddess Ishtar. It's a new modern design of mine, and it's symbolic for the planet Venus. My third piece is called Euterpe, which is the muse of the music, and I try to suggest by working on the curves and shapes again to create the harmony, the suggestion associating with the sound and the music. And you see a crouched figure concentrating on his inner perception of the sound, and all with a giant ear, the tuning fork.
The 3 oil paintings that I have had on display at the Strange Bird exhibition all have in common certain affinities with the Magic Realism art movement. I have used a realistic and figurative technique in 2 of the paintings, and the third is more abstract. You can recognize and understand all the details separately in the great orator, the lion, the leaves, the sky, etc. And yet, when you see it all as a whole, it all becomes strange and magical. I thought of the power a skilled orator, perhaps a politician, has over us. The wild beast in the mirror is the creature the orator brings to life within ourselves. The untold story, the most abstract of the paintings, is more difficult to interpret because you can only see hints of faces and eyes and biomorphic forms. But for me, an enigma is more fascinating than something you immediately realize the meaning of. Beyond Good and Evil is also about the beast, the Minotaur. It has been said before, we put him, the Minotaur, on a pedestal and feed him. The modern-day Minotaur's profile can be seen underneath the bull torso of the Minotaur, and perhaps we, like the owl of Minerva that flies at dusk, do not realize the evil power of the Minotaur until it is too late.
My name is Kirsten Doyle and I painted the image that I call Bad Deer. I had this Batman action figure head, only the head, that I found a long time ago and always had fun to hold on top of images, replacing the head with the Batman head. After I had done a couple of paintings with this head in different situations, I came across a Wilton Diptych with a deer-like animal in a medieval setting, a symbol of supernatural, otherworld, or fairy realm. I found it perfect for my Batman head to give him a new body, and therefore a new existence, the existence of a strange bird. Everything melted into a surreal collage-like feeling, the black head separated by the golden neck chain from the white alabaster-like strong but fragile deer body. I had created a hybrid, which became Bad Deer. There's calmness and comfort. This strange bird is laying in the grass, looking over his shoulder into the distance with pensive contemplation. At this moment, everything is possible.
I'm Nikki Mehle, and 5 of my paintings are included in the show. Back in Baby's Arms, 60 by 60 inches, oil on canvas. Clear Seeing, 15 by 12 inches, oil on canvas. Light of Night, 48 by 34 inches, oil on canvas. Self-Portrait with Pigeons, 36 by 36 inches, oil on canvas. And Self-Portrait with Starling, 15 by 18 inches, oil on canvas. Back in Baby's Arms features a female figure amidst a circular patchwork of nature. At center, the figure is arched backward, either sleeping peacefully, dreaming, limp, or dead. Biting at her neck is a wild wolf-like dog. A sharp, leafy form engulfs the dog, mimicking its teeth. This form is, in turn, echoed by the wings of a dark bluebird. Unlike the dog, this dark bird embraces its subjects without an implication of threat or violence. The painting borrows its title from the well-known Patsy Cline hit. The chorus sings, "I'm back in Baby's arms, how I miss those loving arms. I'm back where I belong, back in Baby's arms." Although the song seems celebratory, it also includes lines about lovers' quarrels, a lover taking his love away, and an almost desperate feeling of belonging with a person, despite all the trouble the relationship involves. The figure in the painting is experiencing a sort of embrace from everything in the picture. The embrace is both peaceful and violent, sharp and soft. It is anxious and euphoric, complicated and simple, like the love that Patsy Cline sings of.
Thank you for tuning in to Access Studio today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Strange Birds at Flushing Town Hall and that you'll tune in next time. If you're interested in purchasing any of the artwork in this video, please see the closing credits for the artist's contact information. Thanks for watching.